Welcome to Boozy Movies, where watching movies and making cocktails is what we do.
I just couldn't help myself.
Wow, well, as you can see, we're really talented singers here,
Who's we?
but I would like to think we're even more talented at making cocktails and making cocktails in the theme of movies. If you haven't guessed it, we have 2 cocktails for the movie, The Sound of Music.
In The Sound of Music, a free-spirited nun escapes the convent to babysit 7 unruly kids, only to charm their militaristic father with her musical talents and questionable wardrobe choices. Together, they bravely flee the Nazis, proving that the best way to evade an oppressive regime is to sing your way out of danger.
Now this is a classic musical, so we decided to come up with 2 cocktails for 2 of the classic songs.
The first cocktail is Raindrops on Roses, which is based off of our favorite song, Our Favorite Things.
And our second cocktail is The Hills Are Alive. We're gonna go ahead and start with Raindrops on Roses, which includes a few of our favorite ingredients.
I knew something like this would happen.
For Raindrops on Roses, you're gonna need vodka, Cointreau, lemon juice, rose water, agave, grenadine, and a lemon peel from Oleo Sacrum.
In a shaker tin, we're gonna combine 2 ounces of vodka, a ½ ounce of Cointreau, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 1.5 ounces of rose water, a 1/4 ounce of agave, and a bar spoon of store-bought grenadine. Add ice, cover, and shake for 30 seconds. We're gonna double strain into a coupe glass, and we're gonna garnish with a candied lemon peel made into the shape of a rose. And here is the Raindrops on Roses. Would you like to do the honors, my love? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, in most of our cocktails, we don't use a lot of vodka,
Oh, I see.
but we do in this one, and mainly we just wanted to focus on a lot of the other flavors, and that would mainly be the rose flavor. So we definitely have a decent amount of rose water in this, I think like 1.5 ounces. But then the Cointreau and the lemon peel kind of give it sort of a citrusy freshness too.
Yeah, really delicious. We wanted something light, not overly sweet,
Not too sweet, not too sour.
reminiscent of a raindrop on a rose.
For what that might taste. I've never licked a rose with a raindrop on it.
Some people would call that honesty.
I could see it tasting something like this. And we also used the store-bought grenadine because it has red 40 in it, which we know is horrible for you, but it really helps with the color, and we wanted like this kind of pink drink.
Well, pink's my favorite color too.
Yes, we did. We want something pretty reminiscent of roses, of course, again. And we just really love this color.
It's kind of like a pink lemonade a little bit, you know, like a pink rose lemonade. And so the one thing with the rose water, we have store-bought rose water, but you can make rose water fairly easy. I think what you've told me is it's pretty much as easy as just making tea, right?
It is. You could just, it's just like making tea.
What's that?
If you want it to be clear, like the one that we used, you might have to clarify it.
I don't understand.
There's simple instructions on the internet for that.
Now on to one of our other favorite things, or cocktails, is The Hills Are Alive.
Yes, but before we make that, a little shameless plug. If you have enjoyed the cocktails that we've been making, if you're interested in the movies that we're talking about, we really appreciate it if you take a moment and hit the like button at the bottom, as well as the subscribe, and maybe turn on the little alert bell to remind you every week that we've got more coming.
Is that all?
We're gonna be here whether you like it or not. So if you need a drink to help yourself get through our episode, you know, we could do a boozy movie drink for that too. So.
Yeah.
But right now we're gonna go ahead and start with The Hills Are Alive.
Now, impress me.
For this cocktail, we are gonna be using Mezcal, Amaro Montenegro, Pine Liqueur, Italicus, ginger syrup, and black flake salt.
In a chilled highball, combine 1 ounce of Mezcal, 1 ounce of Amaro Montenegro, 1 ounce of Pine Liqueur, 1 ounce of Italicus, and a ½ ounce of ginger syrup. Stir to combine, top with plenty of crushed ice, and sprinkle with black flake salt. And here we have The Hills Are Alive.
Can't wait to get my hands on this one.
I think I'm brave enough to try some of that.
Yes, this is one of your favorite cocktails.
Definitely is.
You've made this more than a few times in like the last week.
Yeah.
I know I have.
Yeah, we've got a couple of wartime reminiscent things that we wanted to throw in here.
Everybody's crushed these days, darling.
The mezcal, kind of representing that smoking gun. And then the black flake salt that we put on top. You can go with really any salt. The blackness, I kind of was trying to embody like the...
Symbolic.
It's symbolic. I wanted to like embody the like darkness that's like falling upon Austria
I was frightened.
and how sad he was. And also I couldn't source Edelweiss quickly, so.
Yeah. On Amazon, get with it.
Well, you're such a baby.
Now, one of the special ingredients that we have for this cocktail is the Zirbenz Pine Liqueur, and we really like it. We knew we wanted to put something in that was Austrian,
Now, whatever gave you that idea?
and you found that, and it was just really the perfect fit for this drink.
Yes, there's something to be said about just walking into your liquor store and perusing the aisles.
Just seeing what things are, seeing where they're from, checking things out, reading the backs, and you're like, wow, I think that would be perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Now, another thing with the Zirbenz is the color in it. The red color is actually a natural color that comes from a fruit that grows on the Arola stone pine, which grows in the Austrian Alps. So that's like a really cool aspect to this drink. It's not like the kind of chemical red 40 that you find in a lot of ingredients. So we really like to use the natural things.
I really am very, very much impressed.
We love natural color, just like from the butterfly pea flower or like our passion fruit chinois or the mango.
Absolutely.
But speaking of pretty drinks where we had to use a little bit of artificial color, let's bring in our Raindrops on Roses.
Raindrops on which
How
one
about,
do you?
how about we swap, because you love that one so much.
More than you know.
So this is just one of those all-time classic movies, right? It's on like the greatest films of all time list. And I just loved watching as a kid, but also watching as an adult. When I lived in San Francisco at the Castro Theater, they would actually have sing-alongs. So all the words would be on the bottom of the screen and you could sing along, and we may or may not have snuck a little alcohol in just to kind of like loosen things up a little bit. So if people are having watch parties, this would be like a fun thing to do, don't you think?
Yeah, and the sing-along version is available if you buy it from Apple, right?
Apple, yeah, probably on the DVD, but definitely on Apple.
I think the sing-along version might also be available on Disney+.
Yes, Captain.
So one thing I want to talk about is the fact that while Julie Andrews is just an amazing actress, wonderful singer, she had a lot of consulting from the real Maria von Trapp. Even though she sold all of her rights and storytelling ability, she basically just showed up on set in Austria and was like, I'm here and I'm going to tell you how it's done.
Is that why you came back?
She didn't completely agree with some of the decisions they were making and some of the things where they were doing, because I think one of the producers said, this isn't a documentary on you and your life. It's, we're taking creative liberties here.
And that's all there is to it.
She was originally hired to teach or homeschool the oldest daughter, Liesel, who her name was actually Maria as well, because she was very ill. And she became the teacher, and I believe their mother was still alive at the time while she was teaching. And then eventually their mother passed away, and Captain Von Trapp was like,
Fell in love.
yes. Need a mama for my babies.
Exactly.
And this one cares about them already.
I don't know if he said it just like that.
I ask you to stay.
That was a little bit of a creative liberty, and then also how they escaped. Do you remember that?
Yes, so in the little documentary, which if you, again, purchase it on Apple, is available to you, we find out that they did not do the hike over the Austrian Alps. We were like, man, all those little kids, how did they do that? What a tough family.
They took the easy way out. They got on a train and went to Italy.
They took the train to Italy.
Surprise, surprise.
Like I said, this is an all-time classic. It was really fun to rewatch. We highly recommend that you give it a rewatch, that maybe you make these cocktails. It is a 3-hour movie, so you might have to make them a few times even. It'll be fun. Sing along, get some friends together, and we're gonna cheers and see you next week.
All right.
Goodbye.
So long, farewell, I'll be to sing goodbye. Adieu, adieu.